chase money, it's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey, I go dummy. Everybody hate to love.
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
I win, baby. I win.
I'm feeling fly, yeah, I'm so damn fresh. Got that platinum grill, blingin' in the chest. Diamonds in my mouth, shining when I speak. That umbrella guy, flossing, speaking geek. Ice on my teeth, I'm dripping so hard. Platinum grills, I'm the king of the boulevard. Throwing money in the club, making haters mad. I'm the baddest in the game, no one gets a pass. Ooh yeah. Crushing all these lines, yeah, I feel fly. Rolling on the dubs, that umbrella guy. Iced out flow on the boulevard. You ain't a comic gangster, don't be playing hard. Ice on my teeth, I'm flying so high. Dropping the bass, that umbrella guy. One drill to rule them all, one drill to bind them. Baby, I'm so iced out, gonna blind them. Rolling in town, I'm an army of one. Doing verbal walk-bys, blazing like the sun. Riding in my whip, crushing false accusers. Dropping off the bass on the real abusers. Yeah. Living life fast, no time for the slow. Justice on my mind, stacking up on my throat. Life in the fast lane, no time to blink. Ice on my teeth, watch it when I speak. Chillin' on my rhymes, never missing a beat. Ice on my teeth, yeah, I'm living that sweet. That umbrella guy, bringing the platinum heat. Crushing every hater, no time for defeat. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah, indeed, baby. What's up? How's it going? Friday edition of... Oh, man. If this is what winning's like. I thought they were going to crush us. Bring us under Hale. Destroy us all. What a bunch of clowns, baby. What a bunch of clowns. I told you, man. I told you these people would do nothing with this lawsuit. It was a joke. There was no chance of it winning. We're going to look at it all today for real. We're going to talk about the merits of why they didn't want us going forward, why they wanted to dump it on the ground, and they better hope to God they've been making threats. They're like, actually, if Tug talks about this, I'm going to get a harassment order against him. The fuck you say you are? You ain't going to get a shit against me. I've never had any contact with these losers. They insert themselves. They create fake platforms. They go out there and they defame. They do all this other bullshit. They even talk about contacting family. I don't know if you all saw that yesterday, but that's a Faster 181. I put up a post about that today, but I'm going to show you a wonderful tweet on that. Oh yeah, but Megalodon's foe is also, we are the amazing, we won. Now, what's really funny about it is, in order to save face, Legally Lips actually added in there. Let's see how she worded that. Let me give you the right wording, and then we'll like I said, we'll talk about it all in there. But I don't want to misquote that. She said we pursue it. This was dropped pursuant to resolving the issue outside of court. We didn't resolve shit. You have never talked to me, lady, nor will you ever talk to me unless you force your way in through court. And like I said, you do that, and I'm going to find the biggest, baddest lawyer I can find, and I'm going to go for broke. I'm going to go for everything because you're going to waste my time. I'm going to make it count. You know, you're going to file fake lawsuits. Last night, they were off the hook acting like fools. You know, it makes me think, too, with all the stuff that's come up in the last few days. Excuse me, I'm getting a drink there. But with all of it, you know, with all the threats and the mailing, them trying to, it seems like there's something that is hit and they don't want people talking about it anymore. It really feels like that. I mean, just today, you have BBB again. Remember, in the last few days, you've had BBB. He started up a letter writing campaign, right? He's actually had two of them. The newest one was going after Randy and going after Randy's licensure. Well, now the new part of that is BBB going after the bar yet again. Like, we haven't done this little rodeo before anyway, but yet again, he's doing that. all these losers too. You know, they act like they try to trick people into thinking that they in some way show some kind of grace or, you know, decency. But in the reality of it, look at what they do or what they encourage to be done. You know, oh, it's insane. It is. But it makes me think that something has really gotten them worried. Now, of course, on the Legally Lips side of things, oh, you know, they talked about time. Time is not on your side when you file this stuff. You have so long to make it look like you're going to do something. You know, you can talk the big game, but ultimately to walk away without any kind of ramification, you only have so many days, and you got to get that under the wire. So of course she had to get that under the wire with, you know, the only person they left in Jeremy Hales, of course, because it's all about harassing that Jeremy Hales. Remember, neutral party, except, well, not right. Neutral party, except building a platform to make AI videos about them, calling them the worst things possible, creating multiple freaking accounts, pretending to be, you know, other people when you're the same person, going out at, God, some of the stuff, not to mention just some of the losers that are in these groups. Paint Chips is I'm the biggest loser I've ever seen. Honestly, I'm a mobster. You ain't a mobster. You know what? Here, let me set this straight too. Paint Chips wasn't a mobster. He likes to say that. He would be what you call an associate. And that's a nice way of saying the people that mobsters shake down. You know, you can't be part of the mob. So you're one of these folks out here that they say is quote unquote protected. Why? Because they're shaking you down. You're their mark. They get a nice fat payday off of your slimy little backside so they don't let other people shake you down. That doesn't make you part of the mafia. That makes you a two-bit criminal that has no repercussion other than to go and seek protection from other criminals by hiding under the mafia's wing. That doesn't, like I said, that don't make you a monster. That doesn't make you amazing. That just makes you another scumbag loser. I mean, if we're talking about real mobsters, you know, we have Michael Franchise. He runs a channel. You talk about real scam. I mean, this guy wasn't even paid chips in the level of scamming. I mean, sure, he's not ripping off five and dime there, but if we're talking real scams, you know, he wasn't even at that level either. You know, when you listen to Michael, who spent time in jail for sure about this, but he invented one of the biggest tax fraud scams ever. You were talking about insane amounts of money. Insane amounts. These guys, I mean, they are just two-bit hustlers, always out for the five and dime. But of course, when you talk about that, what happens? They get really, really mad and they start making threats. It's funny too. Paint Chips, like I said yesterday, sent out notices that you are on notice to keep every email, every community. Fuck you say. You're not a lawyer. You have no authority whatsoever to tell me what the fuck to do. That'd be like the local homeless guy out here telling me that I need to do that. Well, what the fuck would I listen to this guy for? What a joke, man. There is no litigation. If he brings litigation, oh my God, man. These guys bringing something because he's like, oh, people have contacted the police. Yeah, you talk about putting projectiles into people's faces. Sure, people do. Now, I personally haven't because I make fun of idiots like this. You know, I don't fear idiots like him. He's a joke. He is a punchline in my world. But, you know, he is in court, admittedly, a mentally ill punchline. So, oh, by the way, this is really funny too. So part of the new grift, I guess, is to say, you know, things like I never worked in mental health, which is weird because the picture they use of me, you know how they got that? They found it on a mental health facility where I worked there. When Bruce wrote that whole anti-bullying therapist, the little newsletter thing, that was an internal newsletter that went through to this company I worked at, which is mental health. It was the therapists and the nurse practitioners. They added in stuff. But it's like, wait a minute, didn't you dox? You do realize the information you use. That's doxed, by the way. It is doxed information. It came from a mental health facility. You stupid fucks, man. Oh, my God. Hey. I swear these are the dumbest people alive. They did open up a new plan. Let me show you this. And we're talking about the winning stuff here. They've decided that they want to really badly reach out to my ex. They said that is their new folly, and they're all over it. They've been talking about it too. And this opens up a gate. I'll say this, you know, I'm not Jeremy. I'm not going to meet you in the courtroom, and I'm not Megan. I'm not nice like she is. I am an asshole. I am, and I don't have a day job anymore. This is my life right now. If that's what you want, I will interview every victim that has come up from every scam, every person you have ever sued. I will interview them all. I will go out and I will find them all. You know, what are you going to do? Revisit some internet rumors? Oh, no. That umbrella guy's a bad person. The fuck you say? I'll interview elderly people that were involved with folks around you that you all ripped off. I will talk to them. In fact, I'll probably do that anyway, especially now that you've decided this is the route you want to go. You know, So funny, man. I'm like, do you think you're gonna intimidate me? I've had some real hard hitters come after me before. These people are a joke, man. Contact. I'll tell you what my ex would tell you. She probably tell you to fuck yourself, you know. You probably get to hear about how good of a person I am, actually. You know. So, depending on if she'd talk at all. But see, they try to make up for that. But you notice this is all like 2L and them. They're okay with that. So apparently they're okay. Remember, they were whining about family members and more. Family members, oh man. She said some rando on Facebook had put up a picture of her mother at one time. And she threw a fit, and that's the reason that she doxed Megan. Because Megan had nothing to do with it. And I've said over and over again, that's the fight you want. I will definitely go, and I'll take every court record I can find, and I will hunt down the victims in them, and we will do a real expose out there. By the time, nobody will give you a fucking dime, because I will make sure that I expose who you are. I won't be asking fucking some guy you can get back into line that gave money to these people. I'm going to ask him. I'll ask again about the people around you. I'll ask all these folks. One of these people sued their own family to keep them quiet, to make them not talk about her. Maybe this isn't the path they want to go forward, but okay. I mean, if they want that, I'm totally game. My family and I actually get along very well. I've never had to sue one of them to shut them up. I don't have any court records out there that talk about me at all. I actually have never had one. So I have never had a problem, never been arrested. I think at one time I did have a speeding ticket. I think let me see. 1990s sometime I think I had a speeding ticket. I'm trying to think back when that was. It was a long time ago. I actually had to clean up. It was in Gallatin, Tennessee. I had to participate in Clean Up Gallatin Day. That sucked, man. What a job. What a job. But let's read this together. Again, it's just, I'm like, you know, when I was talking to people, back when, I posted about this actually. I'm going to read this to you, okay? Because I don't want to misquote myself. I always hate when I misquote myself. Because this stuff makes me kind of excitable. It's kind of funny. Like I said, I'm not Jeremy. Jeremy, props to the guy and everything. You know, he's got these people living across the street from him. I'm going to sue you in court. I can go in that route. Daddy Tug ain't called the police. Oh, no. No, you dealing with a different kind of person here. You used to intimidating people off of it. You used to scaring people away. Not me. I ain't built like that. That's not what I do. I find things, and I'm very good at it. And I have a lot of very, as they would self-describe themselves as, again, this is not an insult. This is actually very complimentary. They describe themselves as very autistic, as in, you know, they lock in. They are diagnosed, but they lock in, and that's all they do. They find things all day, every day. And that's the kind of people I like hanging out with. I would definitely pay one of them money to find things, just to help and to make a fun time. But let's read this together, and then I'll quote myself here. My feelings about having Tug's ex on. See, they talked about trying to get her on the show. She would eat you while the froke is alive, you. You know, she has quite the wreckage in her wake too. You remember, everybody online that writes your past are people that you've broken along the way. That's the thing that these folks forget about. Oh, give me a minute here. I'm going to mute my phone. They forget that. So all the crybabies out there, they're like, about her too. Yeah, she was very good in it, but she's been away. You know, again, she was getting her life together, and props to it. I told them to leave her alone. I told them because you get her in that mindset, dude. Boy, she's not going to like you either, and she'd probably dedicate her time to. Especially like she hasn't been around, and you can tell because the stuff that they have been pulling, aiming at kids and things. Holy shit! That would that probably wouldn't go over very well either. But no, she's been trying to get her life together. She's been working, and she doesn't do this stuff. I do though. But they talked about getting her on there, that she was very young at the time and may have matured and saw the folly of what she did and what happened to her. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. She was she was such a mean person back when, but she was young. Maybe she's seen the error of her ways, and she'll come and dump on Tug with us. You desperate mofos. Like I said, I've never had to sue a family member to keep them quiet. Oh, shit. Oh, game on, though. I tell you, you wanted war. Okay, you got it, fucker. You have got it. Next week, we start. All right. Maybe I'll start with the interview that I've been sitting on for a couple of, I'm going to say months now, because there was no point to it. But maybe we'll start there then. How's that? I haven't decided yet. I had a very lovely talk with a, well, let's not ruin it. Actually, let's not ruin that one. I'm trying to decide how I want to start this. Man, this stuff always gets fun. This is where it gets fun because they take the limiter off of you. And remember, I want you to mark this moment because when they're crying about mean old Tug and the things that he does, you remember Paint Chips. They were indoor last night. They were sitting on a panel with him, harassing the shit out of a dude that has nothing to do with this case. A Dinesh guy. It has nothing to do with Jeremy Hales. Nothing at all. But they're totally okay with this guy writing some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. If you want to see some of that, by the way, on Redacted, go over to Facebook. Look at some of my posts on there. I left a few up for you. But it's pretty crazy. But during it, he keeps putting up pictures of Dinesh guy and his kids and stuff. Like I said, Wolfman already tried that tactic with me, trying to push me off this. Fuck that fat loser, man. That's not going to work. I realize that these people are probably kicking him a couple of bucks behind and saying, who cares, man? What are they going to do? Ultimately, what they do is they get mixed up and try to intimidate, bully people off of it. But you run into people who don't care. You can't do enough to some people. Like some people, like the sense that I dealt with doxing and all that. I dealt with that years ago. Every limit that I've ever had, people have tried. They've tried putting up pictures of my kids. They tried digging up my stepfather's his gravestone, sending me pictures all the time. I mean, none of it works after a while. You either quit or you become hard to it. So they also don't understand protective orders. So I would give her a chance myself. You can always boot her off or in the live if she's a con. A con? Are you fucking kidding me? You do remember that you have actual court records about these people. Like, what's crazy is they want to be like, distraction. Look what some people said online. But by the way, don't pay any attention to the legitimate court records about some of these people. Those aren't real. They don't matter. Are you fucking kidding me? The ecosystem, it is a joke. And anybody that supports these losers is a punchline. They have proven time and again that they are horrible people. They also note about the protective order. One more thing, Lisa. You see, she's okay with this. This is their goal, okay? Like I said, game on. Let's do it. Let's play that. I bet you that I don't crack. They definitely will. You watch. The last time I talked about it, I told them. Remember, little Fats said that he cried because I said I would dedicate a month of my time to them, not to the case, not to the argument, but to them. And they're crying about me on Tug said this. And I was like, yeah, I guaranteed that I would do it. I told you. And they still want to go that route. All right. That's cool. Again, you know. Yeah, maybe at most. Maybe you can get known as a T channel. That'd be great, except for the fact that you're not funny or good. Ultimately, you know what'll happen? They want to throw in with the crowd that basically they call that internet blood sports, right? The internet blood sports crowd is vicious. And with the backgrounds and stuff these people have, oh my God, they would tear them apart. They would feast on them. That's their problem. They think they want to throw in with that crowd until they do. That crowd will tear them apart. Tell you, I've seen it. I've never been part of internet blood sports, by the way. That's, like I said, that's what they call it. The channels like Miltoast wanted to say he was part of the commentary community. That is essentially channels that go after other channels, right? Well, when they get really crazy, they used to call that back in the day, they called it internet blood sports. It's where channels try to destroy each other for fun. And this is the thing that they want to go into, but they're trying to hook up with these other places. And when they do, man, oh my God, you think paint chips, like again, you know why paint chips isn't a laughing stock online? I mean, he has an article talking about how, I'm going to use a nice word here, how he was accosted while he was in prison. You know, that's what he talked about to the, the parole board or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember who it was, but they wrote an article about it, talking about how he was quote unquote violated in prison. Those people over there, they will tear you apart with it. Me, like I know prison does that. I think that's horrible that prison does that to human beings. But I think a piece of shit like that would definitely use any kind of tragedy and turmoil anyone else has gone through. Why would that be off the table for them? But I'm telling you, those people out there, boy, they would eat you alive with it. You know, this guy carrying a sword and a shield, challenging people to fights. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, man. I mean, these people are walking punchlines. They will run into somebody one day that'll. One second. I'm gonna have a kid come in. Give me 1 minute. No, get Sissy to open it, okay? Hey, get Sissy to open it. Just leave the door shut today, okay? All right, thank you, baby. Oh man. They're having a fun day today. They've been playing and doing everything today. But look at this. This is the other side of it too. They say, oh, one more thing, Lisa. I wonder if the video you made of Jeremy stalking their property, the video you made of Jeremy, you think you're going to use that as you think a protective order? So you third party made a video of Jeremy Hales? Are you kidding me? You're going to try to introduce that to court? Holy shit, please do. Well, what kind of idiots are we dealing? My mind some days, it's like my brain's going to explode because these people are so dumb. They do not understand a third-party violations of protective orders. You can't go out and harass somebody on this other person's behalf. For them to post something like this, them to be like, oh yeah, let's like that. That's a problem for them. It shows that they are indeed trying to go after this protective order after, again, they called themselves the PR channel for the, oh my God, why would you ever do this stuff publicly? Lynette Preston, they're going to put your ass in jail one day over this stuff. I'm telling you. When they do, and I laugh about it, don't you get mad at me. Because I've been saying over and over again, you better get these people to stop. Because you can deny it all you want. You can say that, no, I'm not doing it. They don't speak for me. They do. You recruited some of them. We have screenshots of you doing it. I mean, geez, God, it's so crazy. Oh. I mean, again, I don't want to hear the complaints when I laugh and I laugh and I laugh and I'm like, oh, fun times, baby. Fun times. Man. Are you back again, John? I appreciate you, buddy. You know, I'm not covering, I'm actually not going to cover Trump or Elon. I don't give a shit about Trump or Elon. Okay. I'll just be honest. I don't care. It's politics. They're both grifting pieces of garbage in my world. Elon Musk is a terrible human being, if you want to be truthful about it. This is my hot take on Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I got to see a lot of what he represents in depth versus heard. He also, when he bought Twitter, he went with his free speech logo is freedom of speech but not reach. What that really means right there is that you can say stuff, but we can shadow ban you. So that's not free speech. All of this stuff's just a lie. It's just ego. And on the other side of it, you have ego. And these egos clash. It's funny to watch, but it's politics, man. Politics suck. They're boring. Boring. Blake Lively, I'm not interested. I'm just not interested right now. Maybe one day I'll get there. Yeah, maybe, but I'm not there yet. This clown show is the most amazing clown show I've ever watched, but I'm just not there yet. You know, like I said, maybe one day as it gets closer, maybe I don't know. But that's gotta. Here's the question too: if I cover Blake Lively on that, the trial won't come up for another year plus. So if I start covering that all the time, wouldn't that be the same problem too? I'm not sure. Yeah, but let's see, what was the other subject? Hassan Piker. I don't care about Hassan Piker. He is an awful person. That's the internet blood sport stuff. I just don't even concern myself with all that. You know, I'll see and maybe comment on it on Twitter or something, but I feel like I'm way too old to care about like a Hassan Piker versus this person or that person. Yeah. If I'm going to invest years of my life into things, like those things just don't interest me. I feel like I don't know. It makes me feel like a chatty teenager, you know, if I invest in those. Now I appreciate you, John. I do. I'm not interested in that stuff. I'm still interested in this. But you know what I like about John? Not only, I mean, again, your opinions are totally valid too. I'm just not interested. I'm interested in this. Plus, these people try to sue me, you know, try to make threats and more. You know, I can imagine if people threatened your wife, I imagine you would have an interesting response to it. You know, it would. And you'd be right in that, by the way. I think you'd be like, "Wah!" And the rage that would come out of John would be amazing. I think. I think it would. He'd be like, "Raw, rip shirt." It would be awesome. You need a avatar like that. Actually, you need to have like you ripping open like Super John shirt. I'd love to see that. That'd be crazy. That'd be really good. But no, I appreciate you, buddy. Okay, so let's go back to this. The Walmart video. And video of him lying to the cops about her text message should be enough to end the PO. Again, they don't understand POs. They don't understand protective orders at all. It's so funny. I kind of love that. Oh, it's so bizarre, man. So bizarre. All right, let's. These people are just awful human beings, though. Give me a minute. Let's go over to the new stuff with that. Yeah, exactly. I finally understand. Well, like we share our political beliefs. That's all politicians are. I can't stand politicians. Like I don't like talking about. I don't talk about it. There's a lot of people I know that don't talk about politics because they're afraid to lose audience. I don't care about the topic losing me audiences. That like sticking to the same topic. Period loses you people, and that's okay. Yeah, you can do that. But the for me. Politics, it doesn't matter. Nothing changes. I feel so black-pilled on that stuff by now. Maybe a local politician might care, but when you get to federal level, it's awful. It's all terrible. So, Lottie Bell. I'm not even sure that our Day Bell. I don't know. Like I like to stick to 1 to 2 things at most. It's pretty much you can cover something, but you can't know it. See, the problem that we get into these days with trials is I saw this with the Depp case. You have all these people that flooded in because they were going to watch the case, which is totally fine and valid, by the way. But they comment on it. They had no idea what they were talking about. They had no idea about the intricacies to the case. They didn't know things that had come up in it. They didn't know who people were when they came in and they talked about them. They didn't know, with that case, for example, only about 20% of what actually was there came into play. And that's typically how a trial is. You formulate an opinion. I want to be right 100%. And honestly, a lot of what I learned with the Depp Heard trial, I learned 2 things. I learned, number 1, if I find something that I believe in to talk about, that matters to me. But number 2, also along with it, there's a certain type of clown show. Now, like I said, I will note one thing on that, though, with John. If you hear this, I do want you to catch this. There's something up with the Lively stuff. There is a specific thing, and I cannot get very detailed about this, but it's taken about a month to work on. And it's good. It is juicy. And I plan on, I'm thinking I'll get to drop it next week, barring I've got that heart scope Wednesday. So I don't know if that'll slow me down. I don't want to do it before then because it'll take a bunch of effort to put it all together, and I want it done right. And hopefully after that procedure, I'll feel like I'll be able to do it. But oh my God, there's something nobody else knows about it. It's so good. It's so good. But it took a month to put that one together, But with I think there's other people doing a really good job on that. I don't think there's anybody that really remained for this because it doesn't have the clicks. And that's sad to me. You have these crazy people what they do with YouTubers, especially when you get larger as a YouTuber. This is how most YouTubers look at something, right? They look at it as a risk versus reward situation. The risk, BBB pulled this risk up heavily. And on top of, saying I'll falsely sue people, on top of that, you have paint chips get involved. You have dark touch. Those people are just nuts. They are absolutely nuts. Then you have the other ecosystem. And a lot of people, they don't see enough reward to go with the risk. For me, I don't care. If I find it interesting, I think it's right and it needs to be done, I'll stick with it. I'll stick with it forever. I mean, ultimately, we should have been looking at a trial that came up in August, but these people created such a shit show out of it that they totally sidetracked and wrecked Fed Case 1. Fed Case 2, I don't know what'll happen with it, Not sure. Again, I don't make predictions on something that early. I could see the arguments going anyway. I know my feelings on it. I've made them very clear about specific players that are involved. QL1, I believe there's plenty of evidence that says that they are definitely in it. You have BBB. I think there's plenty of evidence that says that he is definitely in a conspiracy. There's some insanity out there. Other people, I don't know. There's levels. I think you can say that many of them are definitely there, but it's proving it. The proving it factor becomes difficult. Those are hard cases to make. They're very hard cases to make. So I don't know how that one will go. But I mean, outside of that, again, you have the other cases that are kicking off too. So this is what happened with this, though. Check this out. And this is such garbage here. So remember, remember that Legally Lips decided she was going to drop a lawsuit on all of us, right? She was going to drop a lawsuit on Jeremy Hales, on George, on Ray, then Jay Hip, on Megalodon's Foe, on the Umbrella Guy, even though my name keeps changing. Look, she can't even get it right in the fucking filing here, by the way. I'm that, you know. By the way, does that mean I'm, you know, look, that, wait a minute, but that says the. Which is it? This is such a fucking clown show of a document. Do it right. Holy shit. Oh my god. They were telling Paint Chips that they liked his style as a lawyer. You do realize he's not a lawyer, right? He is a harasser. He has been disbarred. If I understood it correctly, there was some talk about him saying that he was gonna get back with it, try to get his license. What? After all that, really? You think so? All right, well, it'll be interesting to watch. Man, that letter he sent yesterday was crazy. Oh my Lord. It was crazy. I mean, it was it was a level and a half. I don't mind the lunacy though. I hate it for people like Megan Fox. You know, she worries. She really does. She worries about these people. And again, with good reason, I understand why she would do that. And I mean, here they'd have to really catch me slipping to mess with me. You know, I mean, really catch me slipping. If you knew where I was, but anyway, so they bring this. Well, look at this now. Voluntary dismissal. Now, they want to play the without prejudice because they keep making threats to add people back in. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Yeah. You already had a garbage case. And we will talk about some of that. Well, let's just go off the chain and really talk about it today. But it is voluntary dismissal without prejudice for defendant, that umbrella guy, and Megalodon's Foe, a.k.a. Megan Fox. That's right. Megalodon's Foe has apparently been cleared of all the horror. Oh, I love this stuff. I don't know. Like, how can people not love this case? I like, it has everything in it. Like, how can you not? Again, I get somebody, even if you don't like Jeremy Hales, how can you not like this case? You know, even if you didn't like the man, how could you not look at this and be like, what a crazy clown show? I don't get it. Like, this is everything that you look for in a case. Everything. It has a party. This is the way I say it. It has one party, in my opinion, that is 100% absolutely in the right with Jeremy Hales. 100%. You have the clown show that surrounds it is just every day. You know, when you have I like Blake Lively, for example. Let's go with that. With Blake Lively, it's pretty much set in stone how things will go. They may surprise you here and there with a move in the courtroom, but this is so nuts that you have the lawyer that represents these people active online, just doing crazy shit all the time. Like, how do you ever compare to this? Once this calms down, once it's over, you'll look back and be like, every other case in my life I ever watch is boring after this. I'm telling you. Again, love to Jeremy. Props to the dude. You know, he's handled this the best way he knows how. There's not a good way to handle it. But, whew, man, as an outside party watching it, man. All right, let's check this out. So, look at this. This is so full of lies, dude. So full of BS. It says that the plaintiff legally lives by and through undersigned counsel. By the way, weirdly enough, I thought you were filing pro se. Why is your husband on this document again? It's so confusing. Why does his name keep popping up on stuff? Can somebody explain that to me? Because she keeps saying, oh, you know, he's pro se filing. She's going to be representing herself pro se. Is he filing this stuff? If I call that, am I actually going to get a hold of him? Or am I going to get a hold of her? Like, I'm curious about that. You know? I mean, again, these are documents that I've been added to like a crazy shit show of stuff. And I'm wondering, like, again, why is his name on this? Like, it appears and then it'll disappear and then it appears. I'm wondering, they keep saying, again, this is just pure speculation, idle. You know, I'm not saying I know this in any way, but they keep saying, oh, Jeremy's going to be so mad when he finds out who the lawyer is. Don't tell me you're going to bring that guy in. Oh, God. I mean, some of the stuff, like, woo, baby. Some of the stuff that she said, I don't understand why he would want to be attached to that anyway. It's just some awful stuff about you, sir. You know, I mean, some terrible stuff. Oh, I forgot talking about that. We're not supposed to talk about that, right? Give me a second. I'm pulling us up here. I'm looking up something really fast because I'm curious about the whole counsel argument. You know, because she filed. Okay. When she signed her other documents, right? She signs. Check this out. I'm going to show you this here. Okay, give me 1 minute, because I'm confused by this. Right? So, when she has filed other ones, I'm trying not to. I don't want to have to redact the document. I just want to pull up the signature part. So give me a second. I'm making sure you can see it at the very bottom without putting it all together. There we go. All right, so check this out here. Pull it on screen now. So in other documents, when she has pulled this up, look, she'll put a, damn it, it rolled downward. Does that not figure? Give me a second. She has her, like, it rolled the signature down. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said here just so, making sure that it, I'm going to redact. Actually, you know what? I'm going to screenshot it. That'll make it easier because I don't want to redact it. And we'll have to go through and redact this whole stupid document for no reason, just to show you her signature. So I'm saving it. All right. Give me 1 second. Because she's filing again. When it suits her, she's pro se. But sometimes she has him on there, and then it's bizarre. Again, how can you say you're pro se and then add him? Does he know he's on these documents? And like I said, I'm curious about that. So here we are. So check this out. Here's the signature on other documents. You know, at the end, talking about damages and all of that, she notes, you know, Leslie F. ESG retired. Pro se. ESG, by the way, it sounds like a really bad. I mean, I don't get it, because that's her stuff sometimes. What's up, Zohan? How you doing, brother? Look at that. So anyway, let me throw this back up here. Sorry, I just wanted to show you this because there's a part of this that is so BS. You know. Give me a minute. All right. Is that it? Yeah. All right. So check this out here. So she says, bind through undersigned counsel voluntarily dismisses this complaint against defendant, that umbrella guy. And doesn't that make us defendants? Pursuant to, now this kills me here, you know, pursuant to resolving issue outside the court. We didn't resolve shit, by the way. You would never talk to me. You would never emailed me. Nothing. So this idea, this trying to save face move, that somehow in some way we've worked things out. We didn't work out shit. We have never spoken in any way, shape, or form. Nor would we. Nor would we. Again, she is the kind of person that would scream harassment, in my opinion, if she had any kind of communication with me. So I would avoid it. I would avoid it like the freaking plague. You know? But at the same time, resolving issues outside of, I mean, does that mean like laughing about things out there? You know? At least now, Jay, I was laughing the other day. I told him, you know, he's the only one not included anymore. I was like, man, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And you know that old saying, messing with it. But, you know, I'm playing around with it. And now then it's like, nope, I guess we're all bridesmaids now. The only bride left, the only real bride. Apparently, they said they want to keep Jeremy in. They kept talking this smack too, saying that this is coming up from yesterday. They kept saying that they have an advanced AI program. An advanced AI program. It says that he's diagnosed a specific way. You realize, first of all, and these people talk about mental health. They have having a mental health condition does not make you a mental health professional. Okay. Number one, you may understand your specific issues, but that doesn't apply to everyone else. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, though, the DSM, it is more like an insurance coding book. I want you to look at this differently, okay? I want you to understand this, like where I'm talking to you guys. I want you to look at it a different way. Everybody looks at that manual and to think, oh, it helps people diagnose. No, it helps you bill. That is a billing manual. You can, because if you look at it, everybody who walks in the door, you can diagnose anybody who walks into a mental health facility with something. And you have to have a diagnosis or you can't work with people. Now you try to get it as close as possible. And some people are good at that, but diagnostics are just catch-alls. They are not individual. So if I say that a person is depressed, well, what does that really mean? It means, you know, the criteria of time frame is loose now. You have certain conditions that it meets, certain check boxes, but it could be a lot of other things too. Ultimately, it's an individual problem, but you're shoving people in a checkbox, so your insurance will pay for your treatment. These people don't get that. They go out, they try to diagnose people, they try to fit them in a box, and they try to use it as an insult. Diagnostics are not supposed to be an insult. They are supposed to be a tool that assists with you understanding some of the needs. You know, hey, they meet these checkbox, this, that, the other. You identify that, you help people out. Now they always pull out the personality portion, and the people who do that, especially, they don't ever understand personality disorders. They don't. Remember, the personality disorder, it's not like you being depressed or anxious. That is who you are. That is, it's 100% who you are. Something maladaptive may have happened in your life. It kind of messed you up. The reason I mention this is as a point too, okay? Like I'm talking about this because they were saying that Jeremy Hale, let me see, give me a minute. I hate it when people talk about mental health and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. It blows my mind sometimes. Like, yeah, man, all these people, They know everything except, except. But she was saying that, what, he's a cluster C psychopath? First of all, people don't diagnose people with psychopathy. It's not. It's a lay tool. Like, it's not something people use. It's not a label there. Cluster C. Oh wow, you learned a ton. You learned something that you could work people into. Cluster C. It's like, are you kidding? Have you ever like self-reflected? Have you ever looked at your behavior and really, I mean, outside of a friendly label? See, therapists are more likely, or nurse practitioner or whatever, they're more likely to give you a friendly diagnosis. They wouldn't want to call you things like, yeah, you may find a few, but you notice there aren't that many people that are labeled borderline, for example, because borderline, BPD, borderline personality disorder, now that's a spectrum, of course, but some of the worst cases, some of the worst people that you ever see get diagnosed with that. Now, that doesn't mean everyone diagnosed with that is the worst kind of person. Let me make that clear. But most people won't diagnose you with that because it's perceived by clients as an insult and they won't come back. Can't work with them, can't fix their issues if they don't come back. But I don't think a lot of these people look at their own behavior and really question who and what they are. Because if they did, if they look at the amount of time, the amount of resources that they, and the lies, man, just the insane lies. It blows my mind there. It does. By the way, I saw, let me talk about something for real for a minute. I saw Just J Hips post the other day talking about how, with the dismissal on this, how people didn't, Legally Lips kept popping up around his chat, talking, and he had a discussion, and he did what was best for what he thought was best in there. He said, and some other stuff that he had mentioned, how he'd been worried about their mental health. I could see that, to be honest. Now, I'm not new to the internet in any way, so I feel like I'm more black-pilled, and I'm much meaner than that, okay? I am. I'm a much meaner person. But I don't want to take away anybody's nicety either. If they can find some, and maybe that'll work for them. I don't know. But, hey, it's just like Megan. Megan she'll communicate and say that somebody... maybe there's good in that, or she's surprised by it. She was talking about something I don't want to say here, but she was talking about one of the antis the other day, and she was saying that she was disappointed in their behavior. She thought they could do better than, like she thought they were maybe a better person underneath it all than that. And I was like, are you kidding me? Have you seen what these people do? Have you seen them? She was like, yeah, but I'm like, well, I mean, I can understand that. There's a hope. There's a glimmer there. I think I've had that stamped out by, especially the internet. When I did this for about, do it for 5 years, boy. you will see everyone as a monster. These people is, don't kid yourself. But anyway, I think it's good that people can try to find some common ground. I just, I don't think there is any, myself. I do not think there is. I also, I don't try to convince myself. If somebody makes threats and they do some of this crazy stuff again, I don't try to find the good in them. But I ain't props again for somebody trying to do that. It's not easy. But so this is how, if you look at the lawsuit and what's left here. Now what's actually left after the strip-aways? What has been left with this? I mean, look at that. You have Jeremy. Yeah, they wanted Jeremy left in this. That's what they said. Now, honestly, I don't think they know a Jeremy very well, nor do they've not really gauged their behavior. So they can't be honest with themselves. Like Legal Lips has not been honest with herself. When she filed this litigation, let's pull that up real quick. Let's talk about it, Let's talk about what's really here, Give me 1 minute here. I'm making sure it's all blown up, everything. But I mean, they pulled that up. They wanted attention. They did get it, by the way. Suing a bunch of people definitely get you the attention. So bravo, they got their attention there. But keeping it around, I mean, again, they've tried to isolate these folks yet again because they've eliminated, They've eliminated, They've eliminated, And these folks, they were never there to begin with. This problem, the Jane and John Doe problem, is an issue anyway, because there is no way in hell they were ever going to unmask those accounts. Being real, I've watched many people try this. Everything from Amber Heard to Laura Owens. People have tried and failed to unmask folks on different platforms. It doesn't work. These platforms have armies of lawyers at their fingertips, and they do not cooperate, because if they did cooperate, then they wouldn't exist. Nobody would use their platform. They'd go somewhere else. All the anonymous folks, and there's a lot of anonymous folks out there. There's a lot of people that don't want who they are to be noted, because they're talking about stuff. It could be just a basic thing. You could be talking, we were talking about politics being crazy earlier, right? You could be talking about politics. Somebody would want to ruin your life over that. Just an innocuous statement about that. I've seen that happen. I've seen child services called on people and all kinds of other insanity because somebody made some innocuous thing that was a disagreement. So the point in that is these platforms, they don't strip away those protections easily. Even Reddit. I mean, Reddit is this, it is the universe of it is the center of the scumbag universe. It is a place where I would think if any place would betray you, Reddit would betray you. But even Reddit stood strong. That should say something. That should 100%. So this right here, when I was talking about this lawsuit being garbage, right off the bat, that's there. That's another thing that bothers me with lawsuits like this. Again, over nothing. Now, there are cases, if somebody was out here making like legit threats, talking about like harming kids or, that's different. There is a line. I am not a free speech absolutist, okay? Because to be an absolutist, to say any speech is okay, you invite some horrible stuff. There are lines, I think, that exist within the boundaries of the law. That's the way I go with it. Because otherwise you would be opening speech up for PDF files and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm no absolutist by any stretch of the imagination. But what these people are trying to strip away those protections for this. Ultimately, they say somebody called them an idiot. Somebody said that they had been, if we take them on their word, all right, we've never seen any proof of what's stated here, but if we take them at their word, they were called an idiot. They said they'd been knocked up by an acquaintance, and they were a disbarred lawyer. Those were the three statements that they took umbrage with. On top of that, they said that there was a hate group out there, and that hate group, again, what's really shitty about this, what really bothers me, is I actually really like this art that I watch So You Don't Have To. It reminds me, it has that John Wayne Gacy feel to it, It really does. It's amazing. I love it. I actually love the freaking thing. I do. I love it. But they were like, yeah, oh my God, they compared me to a clown. No, they made a picture. It's beautiful. What's wrong with that? They dressed you up. Maybe that's how they perceive makeup. I mean, you don't know. Maybe that's not a clown. Maybe they were drawing you with wonderful flowing locks. It doesn't say clown on it. It says legally lipsy. It has it has some nice, wonderful blush. Maybe you're excited from everything and your nose is turned red. Lips, well, we were talking about the lips. Wigs, hey, and look at that wonderful hat. It's not an insult, though. I mean, if this stuff, for real, if that is the level that gets you, the stuff that they have been doing to Jeremy Hale is, you understand the admission in this. The admission is that the stuff they have done to Jeremy Hales is so beyond point for this much time. Because again, this is their level. Now they're willing to, again, create AI videos. Oh my God. One day we are going to watch one of those AI videos. We're going to do it on Rumble. We are going to pull up one of those. We're going to pull up one of the, I think we'll pull up the one where they crucify Bruce. I think we'll pull that one up because that one is so crazy. You know, you should see them. If you've never seen them, I'd never seen those videos before that they were making because I was just like, who cares? You know, honestly, it's just noise on the internet. You know, people that talk smack, there's always some smack talking little loser D-bag out there. You know, you create your enemies. That's another lesson people need to learn in this stuff too. You make these people relevant. You know, unfortunately for Jeremy Hales, there are people physically living across from his locale. Otherwise, I mean, all of this spinning to where it has, what would have happened with it? Who knows? But, and then this picture too, that's part of a thumbnail. And again, the thumbnail, it doesn't have a name on it, actually, funny enough. It just, it's like, SUES Jeremy Hales? Are they crazy? And it's a puppet. The puppet is, I don't think it's not really insulting. The Muppet's not. It's kind of cool, you know, just to be honest. So, I mean, if that's the best you got, you're not going to win there. But, and that's everything. If you go through and you look at this stuff too, it's so bizarre what they put together. Let's look over a little of this. I want you to again see the real reason they dropped it. They didn't drop it because, oh man, you know, they're doing us any favor. They know that if they keep going, they liked it. First of all, this is something everybody needs to understand. Jay, like for him, if you search his name now, where this is something that Paint Chips and Volpe do all the time. They do search engine optimization. They take and they repeat a name over and over again. They repeat Jeremy Hales over and over with articles and more that are defaming, that are nasty, libelous garbage, you know. But with search engines, that's what you start to run across. So when people look your name up later on, this is what they find. They don't know why something happened. They don't know that it's a garbage lawsuit. But what they understand about you, you know, especially, like I said, with Jay, the reason I said Jay, by the way, is not because of anything going on with this, but rather he hasn't done this for a long time. Like Megan Fox, when you look at Megan Fox, I find Hollywood actress, right? So that doesn't really even, it doesn't compute on that. And then if I dig deeper and I find Megan Fox, the journalist, I find things that happen with the library and all that. So it's more difficult to go after her, you know. For myself, good luck outweighing all those Johnny Depp articles and stuff. I mean, shit. Good luck with that. If you manage that, man, you're doing something amazing. But that's pretty difficult. And then, you know, but with Jay hasn't been around a long time. So if people search him, especially again with the name that's added to this, with the search engine, it comes up that he was in a defamation suit. That this defamation suit, somehow it was resolved outside of court. Not that it was a garbage lawsuit. Not that it had no merit whatsoever. 2 years from now, when people look that up, will they know the backstory? Of course not. It'll just become more of the garbage lore that people like to tell. And remember, the garbage lore also, when Jay ultimately makes these people madder again, because he will. Ultimately, he will. They'll create more lore. they create this insane lore to you. Just remember, your lore is always written by the people that you that you roll over. That's their petty revenge at the end of the day. Yeah. Like I always say, a lot of the crazy stuff written about me was written. There was I'm going to say a little person. I guess that's a nice way of saying it. There was a little person. I didn't realize that at first. This guy used to write me back in the day. He would send me cosplay pictures. You know, I was like, hey, that's cool. Yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, but I was nice, of course. You know, he'd dress up like Chucky, things like that. But apparently he got mad about something. I didn't give him enough love, or I don't know what. But there was a person would go onto a site out there and wrote hundreds of pages about me. There's just about 20% right. The rest of it, oh, just a second, I got a kid coming. Hey.
They just gave me perfume.
She gave you perfume? I don't spread that everywhere.
No, was giving me perfume.
Oh, she's going to give you perfume? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
My own perfume.
Cool. You'll be able to wear it next time we go out, right?
Yeah, not too strong.
Yeah, don't ever use it too strong.
I think Gigi's not. Well, I saw really strong.
Yeah.
Those perfumes that were really strong. I saw that was Gigi's.
Okay, well, when she gets it, we'll see it and we'll talk about how to put it on without making it really strong, okay?
I don't know how to make stuff.
Well, it doesn't need to be strong. We'll show you how much so it's not strong, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Okay. Close my door. Love you.
Yeah. Gigi's going to give me a perfume. I love you.
I love you too. She's excited. Her grandma, Gigi, is going to give her some perfume. Makes her, you know, she's getting to the age. She sees Sissy, her sister, get all this stuff, and she wants, you know, to be a big girl. So she feels kind of left out with that. Not because she is left out, but, you know, like she sees her sister. She has a phone. I have a business phone and I have a personal phone. So I set up one of my phones where she can play games on it and stuff, you know? So like if she's around me, I won't give her a phone to walk around with, of course. Lord knows what would happen if we get called with that. But, you know, for the most part, that makes her feel bigger, you know, but she wants all that stuff. Because again, she sees Sissy. So Gigi's giving her perfume. Makes her feel bigger. I think that's cute. You know, she's so funny. She's such a nut. All right, but anyway, back to this. Right. So again, we talked about all the people in there. We talked about the search engine optimization. The fact, again, people would just find litigation from the past, but they won't know why. They won't know what's there. They'll just know that, again, it will look like, if they look it up too, it'll look like something was resolved. They put up placeholders as well. She's actually talked about why she does it. It's pretty wild. I saved that for, you know what? We should pull that while when we do another Rumble as well. Because I think that would be one to listen to the explanation itself. Because these placeholder lawsuits, that is definitely not what you're supposed to be doing. And if she continues to pull garbage like that, that is 100% something that I think it's totally fair game to play in a court. It definitely talks about the reason that she does stuff. It is fascinating. Again, last night she was still making threats, though. If you talk about her, she's going to get a harassment charge filed against you. The fuck you say, man? Again, this person bolts in. They make themselves part of something. They run their mouth repeatedly about other people. They file a lawsuit, which is garbage, that they dismiss people from, and then they act like a victim. It is just, it's so bizarre, man. You know, now in that, again, you could see it was garbage anyway as a placeholder lawsuit, because you had things like, you know, with Jay, for example, Jay, who is obviously a male name. You can see that, you know, Jay is a female in there. You have the umbrella guy, who was also a resident of Florida that was a female. And again, you have the 10 people, the Jane and John Does that we talked about. Now, with the factual allegations, yeah, I'm just rolling through this stuff. I'm not reading everything because that is not the point of this. But the timeline is really interesting. You know what's really crazy about the timeline? She mentions the 20th finding a post about a quote unquote acquaintance. That'd be Volpe she's talking about. Now, in that, what she doesn't mention is she's going forward. You know, she talks about sending out emails on the 27th to a reporter, that would be Megalodon Expo, and doing an interview on May 6th. Now, weirdly enough, there is an interview on April 29th with the people that she's talking about. It's posted over on, what is it? I can't remember the site, like Spotify, I think. Along with that, though, there's the creation of the website, Bully Exterminators. This is the thing that never pops up in any of this. It's the one thing that there is plenty of proof to attach that to her. I'm talking about you can make it in court work and to make that point, which would blow up this entire narrative that she's some neutral, objective party. That website was created on the 27th of April, the same day as Mel and Megan Fox. So the website, Bully Exterminators, was created right before the interview happens, like a couple of days before it. So we're talking 7 days from when she claims that she saw this post that was so alarming. And then you have the YouTube that pops up. And within 10 days of the YouTube popping up, that thing's active, making crazy videos. That doesn't count there's so many sock puppet accounts. When I say a sock puppet, I put them in the thumbnail sometimes. You'll notice, like around Bruce, there'll be little things that like they look like moles. They remind me of when the game's Whack-A-Mole. That's what they remind me of. But they're little sock puppets. They're AI sock puppet creations. I put them in the thumbnails a lot because I think they're funny. You know, I'm calling them all his sock puppets. That's what I'm saying. You know, they all report to this one guy, which I very much believe. I very much believe that. But this timeline is so bizarre. You know, right here between these, we have Bully Exterminators posting its first videos. It's AI Hodunk Hillbilly videos. Like the full length ones. I don't remember. I have to check. I have to actually check the information about when the shorts were created. I don't remember. But the first one of those is happening right in between this. And it's strange because, again, her level of I'm a victim is to say that this group that is connected to nobody, by the way, nobody has control over it. I do post there periodically. But so does Bruce. So does Volpe. So does Luthman. I'm pretty sure that I've seen an account that I believe, anyway, is, this person. I think they've posted over there. And then, there's the anonymous accounts. Don't really know who they are, but I'm going to guess that they belong to some people in the ecosystem, too. So to attribute that to anybody's crazy. The one person that doesn't post over there, Jeremy Hales. I also don't post anonymously. I'm just not an anonymous poster. I've never liked doing that. I believe, like on Twitter, I had 2 accounts. I had Real Umbrella Guy, which it's pretty defunct. I don't use it very often. I haven't used it a long time, but I've never gotten into posting like anonymously. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying for myself, I attach my words to me. Now, on here, though, she tries to, again, say that the knocked up by an acquaintance, being an idiot, and a disbarred attorney, those are a bridge too far. Those aren't free speech, right? That's totally, but she can slap a Hales in a Klan hat in videos and do all this stuff, and that's totally fine. That's all parody and satire. Are you kidding me? You know, are you kidding me? She also said, you know, she was targeted by hateful language. You know what? There is no hate speech. That there is nothing. You may call it hate speech. You may use that label, but there's nothing that is labeled hate speech. There either is legal speech or there is non-legal speech. But the idea of hate speech does not actually exist. So that means nothing. Threats. Where are the threats? I have yet to see those. And if they're posted anonymously, well, again, who's posting? Prove it's not one of them. I mean, my God, they could be doing that just for kicks, but I've never seen one. So I can't even get past the idea that they exist at all. And posts intended to damage reputation. You talking about okay, so she says, again, accusations of criminal conduct. Well, we're talking about people that actually do have, many of them do have criminal conduct attached to them. So, ridiculing appearance. Again, you may not like that. She does that. She actually ridicules people's appearance. That's the biggest hypocrisy to this, is that she does the very thing. And she knows this would have been a problem. That's why this was never going to go forward. That's why we win on it. You know, dropping us means we win, by the way. So I'm sure they're going to whine, but I win, baby. You know? Love it. And anti-Semitic remarks. Now, again, they throw this stuff around, like this label. They throw these labels around. You know, one reason that they do it, by the way, is because it put people on the defensive. I'm not that thing. Well, if you're not that thing, fuck them. You know, don't spend a lot of time defending yourself. You reply with a middle finger. You know, you don't spend all day, every day trying to have, people will use anything within identity to try to do damage. They will use female. They will use, you know, again, they'll say, oh, it's Jewish, anti-Semitic, you know, the misogyny, whatever. And that is meant to stifle speech that they don't like. And it also gives the green light to other. You know, the worst part of that, you've seen this is a thing on the internet. I used to talk about this a lot. When people would call other folks istophobes, you know, they already tried this with Jeremy Hales, by the way. They tried to call him a phobe. They tried to call him an ist. You want to say ist, you know, racist, sexist. You know, they tried to say that he was anti-LGBT, all this other crap, right? When they went in and they do that, what that does is it allows people to do anything to you. It others you. Because there's certain words. These words aren't meant to insult. They are meant to label and vilify you. Because if you can turn someone into a villain, then they can do anything to you online. It's exactly what they tried to do. They tried to get other people in to cancel. They made that clear. They made it clear in messages. You know, if you have any doubt about what I'm saying with that, look at the messages that Shara put up about it. Their plan was to cancel Jeremy Hales with those statements. Because they knew if they could get a political army, you know, people with political party associations, and say he's this other side, that would be a problem. If they could attack him for, again, being anti, specific identities. So bizarre. It's bizarre to think that, too. You know, Jeremy Hales runs a business. I've talked to him a few times live, and one of the things that I take away from that is this discussion about, again, being in business. He talks about business all the time. Now, with business, you don't run away customers, you know? So the idea that you could be this anti whatever, it's so bizarre, you know? Yeah, oh yeah, you're you know, you as a customer. Again, I look at that with anything we do, period, with live streams or anything. We're running a business too. Businesses, they don't discriminate. For myself, I don't care anyway. But even if you did, your business doesn't discriminate. So it's so ridiculous, you know. But there was provided extensive video footage. Again, this person has never, like I said, ever gone in and tried to be fair or balanced in this. I saw enough of it from the beginning. You could tell that you could see their connection to the ecosystem. You could see it through these people promoted bully exterminators. And on the other side, they got, what did they get through it? Oh, they managed to get this legal notice. Totally not a legal notice, though. You know, that told you, wow, direct for the press. It's a press release here. This is why all of this is okay. But they talk about, again, Jeremy going through this. Again, I'm showing you this with broad strokes. They complain too. When they hit up Jeremy and were like, yo, I need blah, blah, blah to happen. You know, he was like, yeah, you know what? I'll see you in court. Like, screw you. Then, look, the personal or private life, That Umbrella Guy and Megan Fox actually not talked about your private life. What I've talked about are your lawsuits, because you told me in your statement. See, this is what kills me about these folks. I've talked about those, and I've talked about you'll run in these platforms that go after plenty of other people while pretending to be some non-biased party. All of this stuff is public information. But as far as family, as far as private life is concerned, no. I do have questions about, like, again, your husband being listed as counsel, and then not, and then it's like you put his signature on stuff, and I wonder, I mean, is he game with that? Like I said, I would really like an answer for that. And I'd like an answer that doesn't come in a written form. I would like to hear him speak, preferably with a video that is live, like a live answer for something. That way, I'm not hearing a faked voice. I've heard enough weird AI shit in my day that I've gotten to the point where I don't trust anything with that, especially somebody that loves to create AI footage of something. Now, I'm not saying that he is or isn't. I just find that weird. But yeah, the private life, again, there was no attachment to it. They publish daily broadcasts where they insult, belittle, demean. First of all, if you take something as an insult, that's on you. Is that actionable? No. Belittle. Are you talking about saying that you look like a Muppet? That you're stupid? Those kind of things? The same thing you do? No. You know? Demean? Same way. False statements. What false statement? We never got an inclusion for that, though. Ever. Never got to find out what that was supposed to be. Now, talking about the revenge prawn, nobody ever said that she created it. She keeps saying that people, again, said that she created that. That was not the case. People said that she hosted, and as part of that she distributed, because she had it on her platform. You know, and she's tried to walk it back with the I was shocked by it. Yeah, you were so shocked that you left it up for weeks. You know, this is stuff that had been pulled down, that has been continually hit. This is honestly, I think that's what Paint Chips is trying to make threats about. I wonder too. I wonder, with the legal threats that he has been trying to mail out, I wonder if that is him telling us that he's kind of noticing that he may have walked himself into a problem. On top of it, I took mailing Dinesh's kids' pictures, to other people. I take there's an implied threat in that, This could be you. It's so bizarre. Why are you keeping pictures of that guy's kids around too? That's very creepy. You would think, again, if this behavior was reversed and it came from someone else, that would be a major problem. But they're not willing to call that behavior out. They're not when it's one of them. Those people will allow anything within their groups. It's gross behavior, man. But she said, I was forced to delete all my social media. It's back, by the way. She's back on social media. So that was just a clown show. And she created, she said, hate sites, hate sites. Appearing as a clown, exaggerated lips, located childhood pictures. I've never seen the childhood pictures yet. I've still not seen those. So I don't know what that's supposed to be about. And you profited off of it. So she was trying to say that it was all defamation, blah, 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 for that kind of stuff. Again, I'm just rolling through this. I'm giving you the broad strokes here. Defamation per se. Give me a second. Invasion of privacy. Now, what she does when she does this too, it's what's fascinating about it, by the way, she applies all of this behavior to everyone. And the only thing that she can mention repeatedly is the knocked up by acquaintance, the disbarred lawyer, and idiot. That's what keeps coming up. And again, created revenge porn. Now, nobody said that, first of all. If they did say that, it wasn't who she's trying to apply did say that. Well, no, maybe somebody online did they? Maybe. I can't speak for every freaking person online, but the people that she names did. Now, let's see. What else is here? Intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's a very hard one to win, by the way. Even as far as all of that is going. Negligent infliction of emotional distress. She just tried to intimidate. Cyber stalking and harassment. It's strange when a person that makes videos about other people and tries to do all this insanity there, then turns around and includes, they make videos about Jeremy Hales and all this craziness. And when he mentions them, he is now a cyber stalker. He is now harassing them. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't it? It's so weird how that works, right? Civil conspiracy. Again, that's their favorite to try to run with. There's a conspiracy out there. They're trying to destroy me. They're all acting in concert. It's a coordinated campaign. Have you looked at some of the, do you honestly, this is for real, you folks out there, you've seen some of the shows that run, do they seem coordinated? Now, we may talk about the same thing because it's all important on the same day, whatever comes up on the day, that's the subject for the day. But
guess who's back, people?
Get this bag.
What?
We're just stopping down to say hi.
Yeah, they're just coming.
I
You want
can't
to say hi
stay
real
for
fast?
long because Dad.
Yeah, well, we're covering the lawsuit thing. Did you know what? I won, by the way, today. Oh, that's right.
Epic.
I know, man. Hey,
Money.
I'm a winner there.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh,
My
hey,
dad
you gotta go.
won.
You gotta go upstairs,
I
okay?
broke my rib cage
You broke
falling
your-
down the stairs, and then I hit my oven.
Oh,
Me
yeah, I can
too.
tell. Yeah, you both are crazy. There you go. Go upstairs, you nuts. Hey, thanks for checking on me, kiddos.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yep.
I love you.
Love you too, babies.
Have a good day.
You have a good day too.
Hey, Dad, this will make me woman.
Hey, will you make her some ramen? All right, will you make her some though? Yeah, ask. All right, close the door too, please. Thank you. Oh my God. Let me fire the computer back up. It'll take me a minute. I shut it down there. I thought there might be let me see what's on the screen to see if I needed to shut it off. See, I would just automatically close it. You know? Yep. See, there's a phrase across the bottom. That's why I close the freaking thing out right away. Give me a second. I got called. I always close it when the kids walk around. If I hear them coming, I'm like, there's just something in there, everyone. Oh, man. Hey, what's up? Britt, by the way, it's my 40-year-old birthday today. Well, let's bust you out one for that. It's your birthday. I love it. I love it. It's your birthday. And the chat wants to say, hey, hey. Also, let's sing the right one, though. Happy, happy birthday from all of us to you. Yeah. Happy, happy birthday to Brett. May all your dreams come true, Brett. I'm saying Brit, by the way. I don't know if when I say it, my southern comes in. I don't know if it sounds more like Brett, because it does sometimes when I have it. It's Brett. Let me say them both together. Brett, that's with the E. Brit, that's with an I. They do sound very close together. That's very strange. I've never noticed that before. Brett. Brit. Oh, that's very odd. Okay. And anyway, happy birthday to you, by the way. I hope you are having a great one. And everybody out there, give Brett some love. Man, I swear. I'm gonna have to spell it. now I keep hearing it. Now I'm gonna take all day. It Brits. Oh my goodness.
This is on my other phone. I had two phones in my wellness. This is on my other one.
Well, go tell her to give it back then. Tell her I said, and close the door. All right, and stop narking. Y'all figured it out. Stop narking on each other. Stop narking. Close the door. Hey, close the door, kiddo. Oh my Lord. They have a toy. She's like, Sissy stole my other phone. I had two of them. Oh my Lord. She had her arms on her hips, like it was the most important thing ever to tell me. It's so funny. All right, let's get this rolling again here. So the collective goal, of course, they said, was harming reputation, creating emotional stress. And they claim all of this stuff. Like Hales had said these things. Hales didn't make these kind of statements about her. He didn't make these statements. I'd like to see where he said he was going to drain and ruin. They just, it's amazing to attribute an entire statement to a person and say that you quote 3 lines. It reminds me of, had this guy, I don't know, some of you caught this, I'm sure, but some of you didn't. There was this guy named Chris Boozy. Chris Boozy decided he would do a report talking about what kind of a monster I was, right? He took, I can't remember how long the live stream was. It was something like 13 hours. And what he would do is he would take a piece of a sentence. Like he would take, let's just say this was here. He would take this part, and then he would 6 hours later, he would add this from it. So he would create sentences that were really like quite literally hours apart. And it's so deceptive. Like people play these games of deception. Because again, there was no way that this was going to go to court. They never planned it. Tortious interference. With what? With your not a law firm, your pro se, not legal advice that really looks like legal advice. Is that what you're talking about? That'd be really interesting. I would love to know how much money that stuff actually made, by the way, because I've seen some of the advertisements, and they would get in the single digit clicks. Like Jeremy Hales has been a meal ticket to many of these folks. They have never seen attention until they've gotten it from him. All they got to do is step on him and try to ruin him. That's all they have to do, right? It's crazy, isn't it? They jump in and they get some attention for it. They can never do it covering anything else. They've tried, like all of them. I mean, you look at them. Look at how many broke ass do nothing channels that have popped up, or quote unquote journalists. And look at what they've done on their own. Like, have they ever covered anything really successfully besides that? No. Have they ever managed to make any of their businesses hit? No. But a lawsuit involving his name, they think that'll be good for them. It's so bizarre. Oh man, I wanted to show you one other thing too. So again, publication of private facts. Private facts. Okay. Defendants published information regarding plaintiff's personal life, including her alleged relationship, marital status. This is amazing to me. This is amazing. So what she's saying here is publication talking about her court case with her husband. That is wrong. You see what she's saying, but she went out and posted Jeremy Hale's divorce records and more. So her marital status is off of that. Details about her, it's all out there. In fact, I plan on covering every case that you've ever had. You guys wanted to you want to go out and you want to tell me you're going to interview everybody in my life and talk to my family more. Okay. You know, like I said, you said it's okay. Everybody you've ever sued? Anyone that's ever sued you all? Any of you all have ever ripped off? Any of that stuff? It's all going to come out from legal documentation. Not internet rumors, not innuendo. It's going to be fucking legal documents. I'll talk to the people myself. But it's amazing for them to say, it's okay. I have to get plaintiff's consent. I don't have to give your consent. I don't have to do shit about getting your consent. And they know that. They talked about how it was okay for Jeremy, but not them. You know, so Hey, also, childhood photos, personal history. What personal history? Again, outside of the law career bullshit, what personal history? I'm curious about that, you know. But as a child, I've never gotten to see those. I'm curious where they are, you know. But it's so bizarre. But she says, I'm not newsworthy. But you definitely are. You worked yourself into this shit. I get to decide if thousands of people come and they want to see what we're talking about. I believe it is newsworthy. So those thousands of people have dictated it. You release press releases. This is what I don't get about these folks. They release press releases. So they invite all of this discussion. If they're the one that is the contact on it, right? We look into who that person is. You're curious about them. Like, hey, who is this person discussing it? Even then, though, until the lawsuit that added again Jay and all these other folks, even then it got minor discussion. And by minor, I mean not adding the person's name, very few details, just what an idiot. But after that, yeah. Once they start suing people, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But, oh my God, they're posted to large audiences. I should be able to keep them in small audiences. Oh, this would be highly offensive to a reasonable person. Yeah, your lawsuits have been. They are, especially when I look at the claims that are talking about when people say when you yourself talk about placeholder lawsuit, that's some nuts stuff. But port jail, I thought that was funny. Is this intentional? She said portrayal, but instead it's port jail. Did you notice that? Like J-hip, port jail. You portrayed me. That's pretty fun. I mean, you gotta admit that is pretty funny. What's really funny though is you have his whole name here. It's like a puzzle. Look, check it out. J hip. It's amazing. I love it. Let's see what else is left here too. Appropriation of likeness. Oh my God, my picture. Totally. Can't use my picture. Oh my God, they created. Are you telling us that you do look like a Muppet? Are you saying that? Is that what you're saying? Oh my Lord. Because she's saying, nope, people are using her name, her image, her likeness for money and benefits. It's not her likeness. Her name is in the lawsuits. So, of course, I mean, her name will come up, but we were calling her Legally Lips. It's so bizarre. They're like, don't call me by my name. Okay, Legally Lips. Don't call me by that. Oh, Lord, I love it. It's so crazy. Assault and threats. Assault and threats. Like, isn't that nuts, too? Assault and the threats. Oh, what's going on? Could put a reasonable fear in plaintiff of imminent harm. What? What do you blame that on? Oh, well, because he talks about suing people, even by their own words. He may drain and ruin people he sues. Okay, well, that's talking about in a courtroom, right? And then she tries to say, well, the comments and stuff that came up in the Facebook group could be interpreted as threatening or encouraging violence or other harm. What? What? Which ones? No, there's no pictures. There's none of them. In fact, the only place that she took pictures of was one that, again, just had a little bit of, again, I'll show you later, but intentional infliction. Let's see what else. Stalking. And, pajayer. Instead of prayer, it's pajayer. She had Jay on the mind, dude. What's up with that, Jay? She's got you on your mind. But again, this was her group. I've shown this before. I'm not spending a lot of time on it. But this was a hate group, according to her, which had 27 members, called it Legally Duckface Lips. And most of it's just filings with this picture and a thumbnail. Everything else that she took shots of, I mean, it's all talking about her past. It's talking about motions. There's nothing here. She's telling you, though, that the same things she says are okay to do to Jeremy are not okay. Her own words. Can't talk about her own words. Oh, here's her marital status. Oh, it's being discussed. Well, it's kind of, you put it in there. Again, these folks are okay talking about everyone else, though, right? They keep, hey, let me make this clear, too. They keep talking about X. I have not completed a divorce. I have said multiple times that things during that, they are at a place where finally, I'm looking for the right way to say this. Okay. They are at a place where things are paused, all of that stuff. Because again, as I noted before, there was a substance abuse issue. The substance abuse issue caused some real problems, and that couldn't be around myself or the kids. It took drastic measures to actually have that sink in, but it did. Usually in life you don't get that. Usually people don't see the error of their ways. They never get help. But that went on for over a year. It cost a lot of money too. But ultimately, what it led to was recovery, getting work, job. And through that, see, this is the thing. This is what pisses me off with the John Cook situation. They talk about John Cook. He was a drinker, and they made all these comments about him. And then they were just like, he's totally good. He went to jail and fall out. No. Even if he stopped drinking, he would be a dry drunk. You know, that's what people, again, it's not, that's not the actual terminology, but that's what people call that, you know. You didn't stop drinking voluntarily, but you were forced to. You don't have any coping skills, though. You're the same person there. And you're not really taking responsibility for your actions. So it takes a lot of work. Otherwise, you know, what's the alcohol and what's the person? But they've been totally wrong in that. And like I told them, and one of the reasons that what they tried to do, the reason they do this kind of stuff anyway, they try to harass people that are outside of, say, a me or a Megan or a Jeremy or whomever, you know, when they're talking about that. The reason they do that is they hope that they can cause some kind of anguish or distress. You know, that's why, for me, like I said, they won't be able to do it, but they hope they can not only dig up dirt, but they've been told to leave people alone, and they don't. You know, but they can't even get the status stuff right. They listen and spy on everything you do, but they just don't. They have no idea because they're idiots. They were all idiots. Now check this out. There was one other thing I wanted to show you. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. So yesterday we talked about BBB. Actually, you know what? I guess we could save this. There's an addition to the BBB stuff. I know him, his messaging that he was doing, you know, where he was writing, well, he ended up writing Shara. He ended up writing the not the bar. Well, he's followed up with that. He started now taking aim at the bar. So I think I'll pull that up maybe tomorrow. You know, we've gone our hours. Let's do our super chats and then, yeah, we'll redirect. We'll see who's up. Give me 1 minute here. I gotta see what's what. 1 second. I'm pulling up the outside first to see if there's anything there. Oh, yeah, and there was a document too, you know, talking about Randy. And thank you again, Max Lab. Did send this over. I'll probably put it on the docket for tomorrow. We can talk about it. It will be we need to catch up some of the status that's been going on with Fed 2. Talk about a few of the items that have come up. What Randy he has a new filing on that as well. We talked about Bruce's filing, Helm's filing. It has problems in it. It's better though. It's kind of boring. I would like to go through and hit the high points off of it, but it is not an exciting one, but that's good. That's how this should be. You know, we're talking about them. And there was one other filing I can't remember. I have to look through, but there are 3 things that I feel like we haven't hit yet there, you know. 1 second. Hey, AC, by the way, I'll say thank you. Sent $25 PayPal. That is awesome of you. Appreciate it. It says you and girls have a good weekend. Well, we will definitely have a great weekend. That'll be great. And I appreciate it. You know, use that straight out of PayPal and take them somewhere and goof off with them. So that'll be fun. We think it's fun there. 1 minute too. And it sent a 20 there for you and the girls. Thank you. Did you get my package? Candy, oxalotl. I have not been to the P.O. box this week, but I'll see if I can get over there in the morning. With health stuff, again, waiting for that scan, I've been having problems like getting around. You know, it's not, it's like I'm exhausted. It's whatever is up with all this mess, you know, it feels like it is taking all my energy away. So it makes it really hard to do stuff. So luckily I've been able to do this, you know, because I was like, man, if I had a 9 to 5, if I was still doing mental health stuff, oh, hard. These people are so bizarre though. Oh man, the ecosystem, I think they're really trying to distract from something big though. I really do. I think there's something that we've hit or found that sent them into a tailspin. Like I said, look at all the stuff that just happened like that. You know, you have Legally Lips. It may even have to do with how bad the filing went for their lawsuit. Maybe they tried everything else to distract. Because again, you have Paint Chips and all his bluster about I'm going to sue everybody. I feel like sometimes he's trying to speed run his way back to prison. I really do some days. You know, some of the insanity that he mailed. I could not believe that Belito's office was tagged into that crazy freaking letter that he sent out. But you have that. You have all the stuff Bruce has been sending out lately. You have all the stuff that Darth Touch has been pushing. You have all the craziness that the ecosystem is revved up on. Trying to, again, I'm not sure what set them off yet. But holy crap, I know exactly what I've been covering in the last 2 weeks. And I will definitely put all of that under the microscope and figure out what it was. So strange, though, isn't it? Well, let's see what else we got missing here. Oh. Hey, by the way, let's see. Hey, Cheryl, thank you. By the way, there was a 5 also that came in through PayPal. There is not a statement. That's so much of a statement on its own. You know, thank you. I do appreciate that for sure. I hear Raider, I think, coming back. I think it's going to be narking time. Noreen, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Tug, it's been another crazy day. It has indeed. Actually, I'm gonna let the little one come over. Oh, I saw my Sweet Lab. Sweet Lab. I don't know why I said Sweet Lab. I mixed Max Lab and Sweet Fly. I don't know why. Sweet Fly, thanks for the 2. I'm your pet fly, Tug. Made new avatar. I love it. That is really cool, by the way. I love it. Somebody made a avatar of Little Umbrella Girl, and it was, I liked it. It was like a preteen with a little snake around her neck with an umbrella symbol, with YouTube symbol. I liked it. Hey, girls. What? Hey, come here for a minute if you want to talk for just a minute. Yeah. All right, I'm at the end, so you can come here, and then I got to read the super chats. I'll let you. I know y'all were.
This is not down here. Maybe. I'm going to get Sissy, and Sissy sleeps off on me, and then it got into my iPad like that.
Do what now? What happened?
Look, you see this?
Yeah.
I was making pancakes.
Oh yeah, that's pay. But you can't bring that up anyway, because I've got that turned off. Like, you can't see if you push the buy thing, it won't let you buy. See?
Yeah.
It comes up and it says you can't buy it. You know, but don't try to buy stuff, okay? Because
no, you have to push this a lot of times.
But don't do that, okay? Like that. That's where they try to sell you stuff. You just X out of it, okay?
Guys,
that's a lot of. God, that's a bunch. Yeah. Hey, by the way, you all came down earlier, so I thought you could talk at the very end here.
yeah. I was making pancakes.
Oh, are you still making pancakes?
Oh, I was about to pour some more, but like I just put like the spray stuff onto the pan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll go make pancakes.
I can talk.
Well, you can come back after you make your pancakes. I'm gonna read the super chats here.
I already had 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But there's still a whole thing of batter. I can just wait.
Right. Did you eat some pancakes?
She didn't want pancakes.
You don't want pancakes? Why not?
I want ramen and what's her baby
I
table.
told her after I made my pancakes, I do it.
Yeah, but
I saw her said eggs.
You thought she said eggs.
Are you deaf?
What?
No, I saw her said eggs because sometimes
not
I hear
pancakes?
Yeah.
So
do you want pancakes?
No.
I'm gonna leave her with you for a second so I can make sure everything's not,
Okay.
on fire.
Well, actually, hey, why don't you go upstairs for a minute too, kiddo, and I'm gonna go through some super chats. Y'all can come back down here in a minute if you want to before I'm off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, by the way, hey, girls, hey. Here's Janice sent y'all a $20, by the way.
Thanks, Janice.
Yeah, it says for Lug and Bug, love you, sweet girls. So that's awesome for you guys. Yeah, they're like, all right. They'll be back, I'm sure. Tracy, thanks for the 5 there. Just to make the haters mad. Indeed. Indeed. They get so it's so bizarre. I think a lot of their hate comes from the fact that their grifts don't work anymore. Not well. It used to be for a little while, they could bring up something every day. Everything that they do is contingent on saying that Jeremy Hales did something monstrous, right? You can only do that so many times. You can only motivate the troops so many times. By the way, I don't know if you all caught it, but remember the channel Miyagi? Remember them that made the Only Me videos? Also, again, they're hypercritical of myself, which is fun. They can be, But apparently when they weren't walking lockstep enough, yeah, they caught all kinds of crap for it. They made a video about some of the crazy that had gone on. I'm going to say I heard from some people who would know that folks in the ecosystem were not happy that this person spoke to me, But, and again, I mean, the person was pretty clear. They firmly believe LP and JC. We disagree vehemently on that, but we didn't argue and stuff. I mean, you can be an adult about it. You don't even have to like people. What I didn't like was how the ecosystem moved to wipe out this person that they applauded before, They were applauding them really weeks before that. Saying this person had been away for a while because they said in comments that they didn't like the way that a lot of these folks had gone, like 2L1 and all that. I mean, they didn't believe it was about justice anymore. So, I thought that was interesting.
I had to make sure the kitchen wasn't, bursting in flames.
Yeah.
Want some pancakes when I'm done?
No, thank you, though. I can't eat that. It's kind of rough on me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting too old for that kind of stuff. Well, I keep telling myself. I'm trying to.
Hey, guys, that I want to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't know if Dad will let me.
Not forever. You can talk about them for a hot second.
So I have a question. Why do they keep changing up Baxter Stockman?
Because they try to, anytime they change him up, they can make new toys and try to market it again.
Yeah. Like in the 2003 version, he wasn't even a fly.
Yeah. Here.
And Dad got me a mutant May.
Let me go I gotta get my medicine real quick. Here,
yeah. And Dad got me a Mutant Mayhem video game. And I was playing it. And the worst part about that is they killed Baxter. They legitimately killed him off so Superfly could be there. Like, he's not a mutant fly like Seth Brundle or Baxter Stockman. No! He's just genetically modified fly. Which makes me very mad. The Switch 2? I already have like 3 Switches.
Yeah, they made a new Switch, right?
Another one?
Yeah. Well, they made it's the Switch 2. There's supposed to be like better graphics and all that stuff, right? The thing is, I've seen pictures of it, right? And they increased the prices of games. So games are going from like $80 to $100. That's nuts, You're going from $50 to $60, right? To $80 to $100. And the games are the same games we saw. The only new game I saw was a Mario Kart game, and it looks just like the old ones to me. So,
you know what really makes me mad? Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
Where's the second version? We need a sequel, people.
Is that right? Hey, Wanda, by the way, sit 10 there for Bug and Love.
It says
for Bug and Love.
Yeah, sorry. My eyes are blurry.
Oh, no.
They don't even work.
Your eyes don't work?
I wear glasses.
Oh, well, I mean, they still work.
Very badly.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, mine, I wear glasses. That's probably why, you inherited my wonderful taste
I blame you.
Yeah, you inherited my wonderful taste in movies.
And music.
And music, but also
I ripped all of that
terrible
off
vision.
from you.
Yeah.
I'm a thief.
Yep. I'm gonna watch that movie.
Also, I think I inherited something from a fly thing.
Oh no, are you gonna
because
become
I
the
do
Brundle
this.
fly?
I do the rubbing hands together thing, like.
You're gonna become a Brundle fly soon.
No! What am I gonna be?
Yeah.
The Elizabeth fly? I don't want
Little Brundle. What's
I
up?
don't want
Oh, here's a good one. You'll be a nice brundle of goodness instead of bundle. Brundle of goodness.
Ninja Turtle
Yeah, that's for the that's for the game thing up there. But no, I'm not giving you that because it'll just be in all that mess. If you get your room nice and clean, you could put it.
You
up
had to
there.
expose that to the world.
What, that you have a dirty, not clean room? Yeah. It's not terrible. I mean, you're a kid, your room's a mess. So what? You got to clean. Everybody makes a mess. It's just, you got to clean it up. Right?
Yeah. I want to keep talking about the stuff I like.
We can talk about 5 minutes and then I'm going to.
Apparently, Baxter Stockman flyified. That's what I'm going to call it.
Flyified?
Yes.
What does that even mean? He became more like a fly?
Because I'm making my own words.
He became more like a fly? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. Apparently, he's called the Baxter fly.
Huh. I didn't know that.
They really ripped off the fly.
I haven't kept up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for a long time.
But I have, and it's your fault.
Well, I did like The Last Ronin. That was pretty good.
I thought that was a silly samurai book about a normal samurai, but apparently it's a turtle.
Yeah, they have. I mean, there is a movie about samurai like that, but then they have the turtle book. That is the best-selling Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book to come out of IDW, by the way, ever.
Did Donatello die?
I can't. I don't remember if they tell which turtle that actually is. I can't remember.
I literally have 4 favorite characters, and only one of the turtles is
only one of those turtles lives. Yeah, and takes up.
Well,
you should read it. No, actually, it's one turtle in the last.
Yeah, I only like 2 turtles, and the rest of them are evil villain people.
Hey, here's Vanessa said, "Hey, Bug and Lug, tell your dad to check the P.O. box." Ooh. Oh, by the way, we haven't talked about all the good stuff in the P.O. box, all the books, the crafts.
Like people.
People were asking me about what you like to make. I was telling them the bracelet stuff. Like you got on
bead dragonflies.
Yeah, she makes a lot of she's been making bead dragonflies, stars. You made stars.
I make stars.
Of course.
I'm trying to be a full-on scene kid here.
A scene? What?
I'm going through my first phase, people.
Your first phase, huh?
Can't a girl be in her phase?
Can't a girl be in her face? Oh my Lord. You are a nut job.
Why do you think they like me so much?
Why do they like you? Yeah, because you're entertaining, of course.
Yeah.
Well, also, you got to remember, people who've been around for a long time, remember, we were doing this when you were 4 or 5.
Also, people, can you give me 4 million lizards?
4 million lizards. Hey, Kate Kirkpatrick sent 2 there for candy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. We'll be able to.
Wait, what if I genuinely. Wait,
what?
I'm going to turn into the Brundlefly. No. Why can't
that actually would be a terrible. You know how awful that would be if you really did turn into the Brundlefly. You know how terrible that would be.
You think I don't?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like those telepods. Did you watch the old?
I only watched the one you bought.
We got the Blu-ray set with the other Fly movies in it.
Also,
with the other Fly, the Fly set though has the Fly, the old one, the black and white, the Fly, the Return of the Fly, and Fly 2. You saw the Fly, the new one.
There's
Fly
2.
Yeah,
there's 2.
Yeah, it has a comic series too that continues after Fly 2. Well, after the Fly, I think the comic series continues. It continues after the Fly because it deals with the you know, she's pregnant in the end of that one. You know,
Veronica.
yeah, she's pregnant in the end of the Fly. Well, in the
I thought her
comic,
name was Victoria for like
or
half the
I can't remember her name.
Victoria knew that the end was coming soon.
Oh no. You busting some Saigon kick out.
Hey, what's life if you can't be weird? Blasphemy before what? God.
That was very random. If you folks have never heard of the band Saigon Kick, that's what that was.
And I also whipped out a line from Herbert West.
Well, it's true too.
I apologize in advance to Herbert for ripping him off. I'll give you a bug if you're watching this, Jeffrey Combs. Yeah.
I don't know.
Where did you spawn from?
I was in Mom's room.
Why were you in Mom's room? You have your own.
Because it was in the kitchen. I wanted to watch TV.
My favorite quote is the one from Phantasm 2.
Mine is from.
Hey.
From where?
I have no mouth and I must scream AM. It's a very long one. Let me tell you. Hey! Let me tell you about hate. For I think it was 100. I can't even remember it, but it was about hate or something.
Where did it come from?
I have no mouth and I must scream, people.
What movie?
Hey!
What movie was it?
Hey!
It's a novel.
Oh, a
Hey,
novel.
Hey.
What novel?
I have no mouth and I
Oh.
must scream. I said this 4
I
million
don't
times.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you're talking about. The movie. I like that quote
Hey.
from Phantasm 2 about small towns.
I'm
You know?
trying to talk to you.
Yeah, I also have another one that I like. Did I ever tell you about the time when Kenneth tried to deep fry turkey? 90-degree burns over. No, not 90-degree burns. 3rd-degree burns over 90% of his body. We had to call like doctor upon doctor because they have never seen burns on burns.
Hey, are your headphones on?
Let me see.
Are your headphones on? You were yelling for a minute. I didn't know if your headphones.
Oh no, they're not.
Okay. I pop your headphones off a little and maybe like got really loud. I didn't know if you know sometimes I create
Hey,
sometimes I create but they
Our
create
heater went off, Dad.
yeah my monitor went off. The live stream's still on though, baby.
Good.
I need to go
Say.
pay.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna continue super chats. They'll probably
Hey,
come back.
guys.
All right, hey, go upstairs for a minute.
No, I
baby.
want to talk.
Well, I gotta do super chats real quick, baby. Okay. I gotta go upstairs for a minute. You can come back in a minute. Let me do some super chats. Oh Lord. All right, Tracy, thanks for the 5 there. Appreciate that. The 5 and the 5 memberships as well too. Thank you for that, Tracy. I appreciate that. That is much appreciated there. There's that Angel. Thanks for the 4 months. I went after a big stroke. Even now, I'm blind after a big stroke. You make me laugh. Are you? Is that what's going? Well, you know what? I'm glad that we can be entertaining. We can have fun. You know, we can flex and we can, again, we take away anything that's happening on the day and we have fun with it. You know, we do. We can have fun with it there. You know, John, man, I like John. So funny. He's like, cover something else. Wait.
Yeah.
Let me go through super chats before y'all come back.
Okay.
Give me about.
Let me say bye though.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So you can
Also,
come back
my
in a few minutes.
persona's a fly mutant, so I think that has something to correlate.
I want to talk, please.
Y'all can come back in a minute. Let me.
Just tell me when.
Okay.
I'll call Sissy.
All right.
And then me. Then Sissy will call me. And I'll
Okay, I will.
I'll grab this soda.
Like I said, though.
I want grape soda.
Clay, close the door. Thank you. John cracks me up there. He does. John's been here for a long time, though. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm tired of this. And you come back and say it again. And that's fun, man. I love John. Like I said, you are allowed. If you don't like a topic, man, you want to vent. You know what I love about John? John has been here forever. He is supported, you know, and he has a great relationship with folks out there. So love to you, John, and your wife, man. Like I said, one day, maybe we'll cover something else. I don't know yet. Actually, I do have a video, like I say, but it's going to take me. I'm not sure if I'll get to put it together next week or not, depending on my health stuff. But there is something really big in the works that has to do with Blake Lively. It has taken a month and so much. Actually, it's taken a little bit more than that, but it's taken a lot of effort to put it together. So it's a good deal. Emma, thanks for the 2 there. You got a speeding ticket? You monster. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I was flying there. I used to work. It's so far back. I worked at a plastic factory way, 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 way back before going to college or anything like that. I worked at a place called ABC Technologies, and we made parts for Saturn, Nissan, a company called Puridenzo, which Puridenzo makes parts for Corvette. Saturn, of everybody. Saturn, Nissan has some of the worst quality levels back then. They would allow 13% defective rate when you send stuff over. Most places allow 5%. If you find 5 parts out of 100 that have a slight issue, not talking about failure, but some kind of imperfections, you'd call it. I think they used to call it a deviation defection back then. It wasn't a defective to the point to the point that it was broken, but it didn't look exactly right. But Saturn, man, they would hammer you hard. But yeah, I became a quality auditor back then. It's crazy times. I was crazy back then. John also dropped 10 giftos. Thank you, John, man. Appreciate you, brother. Green Veggies, thanks for the fun. I've seen a mama bear in protective mode. I let them wake her. Yeah, and then tell her what they've done. Stand back and laugh. Yeah, talking about wife, like I said, she used to be more active online, and she used to like to drop elbows on people, but she's been focusing on self, but she may if she found out about that, oh my God, she'd go crazy. She'd just drop elbows all over them. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Skipper Trucking, thanks for the month. I have no sympathy for that Dinesh guy. He's just as much of a POS as the haters. He's notorious for doxing randos for his own clout. Same with Tizzy. I don't know anything about him. What I do have a problem with, though, is, sending out letters that focus on his kids. His kids they're innocent in this. This is something you can't get across to these people. Yes, 100%. It will get a reaction, 100%. But is that really the game they want to play? Because what they do is they open this up and it becomes very nasty. They have set the groundwork for something awful. And they'll all want to cry victim about it. But they are inviting targeting kids and everything else, Again, there's no complaint. When they're doing this, again, we're not talking about something where someone was hey, with LP, she made statements about Cook. She made all this crazy stuff, and it made people get concerned. With this, he just brings up random crazy shit. So I don't know anything about that Dinesh. I have no idea about him whatsoever. Never been a viewer, pro or con. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I've just never into his stuff. I watch cases. I look at them and the merits of it. And I think as far as merit is concerned, that Paint Chips is a freaking nutter. When you look at some of the stuff he's done with that. So, that's how I look at it. But as far as his other stuff that he's done, I have no idea. Skipper. Appreciate you, brother. Travis, thanks for the 2. Grape happens more in county rather than prison. Is that right? In county, really? Oh, I wouldn't have thought that. That's wild, man. It's sad that it happens, period. Honestly, But that guy also, Paint Chips, noted that happening, but also says he's wants to be a monster. Man, that doesn't happen to monsters. I'm just saying. It's ever happened to anybody. You would think you would not want to go back to that ever. To lose years of your life. You'd think you want to avoid it, but what do I know? Maybe not. Thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, maybe not. That is awesome of you too. Appreciate it. And with that too, we had Sticky Widget dropped 10 giftos as well. That is awesome too. Thank you, Sticky. That's much appreciated. I love it. Thank you both there. That's awesome. Mike, thanks for the 3 months. Does John just show up to ask you to cover something else? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Well, John, again, love to John. You know, he's been around. He's just noting his opinion. And you know what? He pays for the privilege of it. He does. So, hey, if people... I wish more people that had again, it's a legit concern for him. He's part of the channel. Awesome. He's been a member forever. So yeah, but he also pays for the privilege of it. And that's absolutely amazing, to be honest. But I never want to create an echo chamber. I don't want people to say, you know, you like this or else, you know. I've never liked that idea. So if people don't like something, yeah, you should have the ability to bring that up. I think that's fine. It just drops in sometimes. It doesn't like this case, you know, for whatever reason. You know, he wants another case. But this is it entertains me. So if I'm not entertained, I think it shows. You know, you can kind of tell. Like when I find that case, you can just see it. Think Navy Vet. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships as well. Thank you for that too. That's awesome. There's a lot of gifted memberships there. I appreciate that, Navy Vet, throwing them in there too. And I lost my place. Give me a second here. Green Veggies, thanks for the 10. Oh yeah, about the political stuff. Yes, I am not a political fan of anything. So, you know, I think sometimes I've been disappointed. I've never seen any of them deliver. So I get very disappointed with that. Rickles, thanks for 5. I've lived long enough to see Tug come out of his shell. Oh no, shy, reserved, sheltered, dude. I know it's so terrible. Maybe one day, Rickles. Maybe one day. You know, when I first started covering stuff, I was more reserved, though, for real. Like I really was. And you learn after a little while, just be yourself on the mic. Who cares, right? Max Lab, thanks for the 2. I will hit the Randy stuff tomorrow for sure. Thank you too, Max Lab. Give Max Lab some love, by the way. That dude deserves some love. Paula, thanks for the 5 there. Tug, Lottie Bell final trial. She yells at judge every time. I think I'll look at that tomorrow and see what it looks like. Filed to remove the judge several times. She about losing the pro se. See how that gets crazy. Some of that is funny. You know, I'll check it out. Troy, thanks for the 3 months there. More like a bad lab experiment than an ecosystem. Don't do drugs, kids. Indeed. Indeed. Wanda, thanks for the 5. Get there. Doug. Yep, indeed. Well, you know, again, they love to threaten. And, you know, a lot of people get defensive. And they're like, no, whatever, man. If you want that to be the setup and the arrangement, okay. You know, like I said, I'm not going to sue you for it. I'm not going to call the po-po. I'm going to handle my business. I'm going to talk about you. You know, I will invest my time looking at every single flipping thing that has ever happened. That's what needs to happen there. Risa, thanks for the 10 there. Has Legally Lips been channeling her inner Elaine when she wrote this? Yes, it felt like it. That clip of the park manager interrogation and her versus debt case, he kept getting your name wrong. Yeah, it does sound like that, doesn't it? That was a freaking hilarious case. Like, you know, the way it went. Again, the stuff that happened to him was awful, but the debacle that their side was just amazing. Bonnie, thanks for the 10 there. In the future, if someone searches you or Megan, will it come up as a settlement? How you take care of that? I believe her husband told her to stop this craziness. I actually think the reason I think she removed it, honestly, is because it'll you have a cutoff for liability does come into play. So I think she was, you know, she's used to, again, pressuring people. You know, trying to make them feel like they're under the legal gun. I don't care. If you sue me, if it's a garbage lawsuit, first of all, number one, I will ask for assistance. You know, people will definitely, we will definitely talk about it. We will definitely get it covered. They will not damage me in any way. And as we go forward with it too, they will see exactly what they're dealing with. But we have you know, again, she made the whole point that everything is allowed to be talked about. Like it's so bizarre to have a person put out press releases for somebody and say the very things that are okay there somehow aren't okay with them. It's so weird. Yeah, again, Max Lab, thank you, brother, too, by the way. Again, love to Max Lab. Dude, keeps up with stuff, make sure everything's sane. I love it. Taz, thanks for the 7 months. Some people just make you shake your head and walk away. Indeed, I feel like that sometimes for sure. Like some of these folks. Skipper, thanks for vibe. It's as if they just want you to blow money hiring a lawyer only to drop it after a response. Yeah, well, some of it is lawfare is monetary intimidation. It works against smaller channels too, very well. Some bigger channels, but definitely smaller channels. Because I mean, like again, you know, J Hip. Let's look at his situation here. You know, again, I can't speak for him or anything on that, but you think about it in terms of a wallet, you know, and in terms of followers, or a Shara. Shara's been threatened. Okay, can they really count on backing? Would you feel confident enough to say yes? Would you bank on that idea? Because people, you know, that's what's happening, and it can be intimidating. So it's part of it. Part of it is attention too. If she files these things, she gets some attention. She got what she wanted out of it. But you know what? I got what I wanted out of it too. I laughed at it. I laughed at the stupid, because that's what I like to do. I laugh at the stupid, you know. And if she would have gone forward, I would have made sure that, well, I bared fangs and I tore that lawsuit apart. You know, Mama, Lord, thanks for the 5 there. I'm pretty sure that Legally Lib's husband spends half his time dismissing lawsuits on her behalf and cleaning up her messes. I don't even know if the guy really is involved. I don't know. We've never seen him, or I guess he's a name on paper for me. I guess we'll find out. Again, maybe I keep wondering if he's the lawyer they've recruited into this. $6,000 for a lawyer is garbage money. It is. Somebody to go in and represent, you know, that like BBB's like, I'll write these, I'll direct it. So I wouldn't want my name attached to this stuff, but we'll see. We will see. I don't really know that for a fact. I just wonder. Becky, thanks for the tip. I still want to know, was worth the $75,000. Oh yeah. Yeah. There was nothing in that. Also, her lawsuit would never have worked. Never have worked. And she knew that. She knew it. Her intent was to never serve anybody. You know, in fact, I wonder, like, to draw, you know, to create chaos and everything else, you know, to create some kind of division. Also play the victim. I mean, there's all kinds of reasoning there, but yeah, for sure. Dream Veggies, thanks for the 5. I'm beginning to think the pictures of the kid get them excited in a very way. Maybe. I don't know. I would never accuse a person of being that. Like, they would accuse people, though. But it is gross how they keep putting up just random people's kid pictures and stuff, and they fixate on them. It's strange. Brett, again, thank you for the 27 months and a happy birthday there, for sure. Love to you again. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 5. Mark once saw me in a shop looking less than happy talking to a shop assistant. He knew things weren't going well when he saw my hand went to my hips. Yes, I know that feeling when it does. When you see that sass come out, it's so funny. Tracy, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tux. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Emma, thanks for the 2 there. Their hypocrisy and deflection blows my mind. No, it is crazy, isn't it? Sandy, hey there, and thank you again. 35 months, crazy. You know, almost 3 years, Sandy. That is amazing. Appreciate the heck out of you. Laura, thanks for the 30 months. You know, I mean, that's these numbers are wild. Thank you all. I mean, again, you make this work. Appreciate you having a great weekend. Tug and the Tuglets. Well, thank you for that. That is much appreciated. Niece, thanks for the 20 there for Lug and Bug. Love you, sweet girls. Yes, I saw that before, but I did want to give you love again there. Sandy dropped a gift though. What's up? Thank you for the gift membership. That is awesome there. Thank you. Leanne dropped 3 there. Candy and plushies for the Tuglets. Thank you. That is awesome too. Let me see if they still want to come around here. I said I'd talk to them for a few minutes. I'd let them goof off if they want to. They're fun to. I like to be able to have them and talk and stuff like that. We don't usually get a chance for it in the middle of all the insanity. So, let me see. Let's see. Sandy also dropped another gifted membership. Thank you, Sandy. That is awesome and much appreciated too. Thank you. Wanda dropped a 10 there again. Thank you for that. Saw them before. I'm still giving them love there. Thank you. Vanessa, thanks for the 5. Hey, Bug and Lug. I will check that P.O. box, by the way. Thank you, Vanessa, too. Kate Patrick, also. Thank you for the candy money in that as well. And James, thanks for the 2. Check email. Another photo of both this time. I'll show them. That'll be good. Yeah, that will definitely be good. Let me see if they hear me. One second, I'm going to mute and see if they hear me. If not, we're going to end out. Give me a minute. I yelled to them just to see if they'd hear me. I'll give them a minute. I told them I would, that they could come back. But they're probably, I heard them bickering about something a minute ago. They're so funny with that stuff, I'm telling you. All right. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to end. I've been watching Better Call Saul again. I don't know if you folks have ever watched any of the Breaking Bad. So when Better Call Saul, I forgot how much I liked that show. I was not happy with the ending. I wanted a different ending, just to be honest. But everything else, I really enjoyed. I'm talking about like what happened at the end. I'm not going to ruin it if you've never seen it, but I wanted a different ending, like that, just that one part of it. But it is an amazing experience. If you enjoyed Breaking Bad, it's a really good ride if you watch the show now that it's been completed. When it was coming out and when you're having to wait a year plus for every season, it felt more, I guess, disconnected. Like everything, the way it moved together, it felt like a lot happened, but now that I'm watching it and watching it all together at one time, it's so much different experience. I've enjoyed it and I did enjoy it back when too, but just that ending. A minute here. All right, I think I'm good now. All right. I think I'm going to... is there a redirect today? Is there somebody out there to redirect to? Actually, I don't know if the redirect thing is working. I don't know if the redirect won't work, man. I'm going to just have to end. It won't redirect today. It won't let me pull the thing up. There's been something wrong with YouTube all day long, but I cannot pull the redirect up. So I noticed, Jay, and there's a couple other people live though, but I cannot pull that up. It just won't work there. Kitty Ninja. I wonder if Tugs, because I started the Tuglets thing. No, Tuglets is funny. I think that's funny. Tug and the Tuglets. I like that. I think it's really hilarious. I love it, actually. I love the fact that when I have a live stream or something, if they wander in, they get positive support. I mean, that's great too. So that is much appreciated. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to call it here. We'll probably be live tomorrow. We will see for sure. But yes, Jay and a few other people are live. Like I said, I just can't get the stupid thing. But go and raid some people and go have fun. Tell them Tug sent you to. All right. Love you.